Hi, Megan. I'm Cady. It's nice to meet you, Cady. Do you want to hang out?
It's nice to have a friend.
Hey, welcome in. Another episode from the Critics Collective. We're going to talk M3GAN, the horror movie, if you want to call it a horror movie. I'm sitting here with Mayte and myself. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. But before we get into this, just hit the subscribe button, like, comment. Just 3 minutes of your time is all we're asking for. Go and check out Bring Her Back. We just did the video on that one, so you can go check that out if you're into some creepy, some horror. And we'll go into our highs and lows. Then we'll go ahead and rate this, and we'll let you go about your day. We appreciate you being here. Now, for this movie, M3GAN, it came out in 2022, a running time an hour and 42 minutes. Nice, close to the sweet spot, but it's PG-13. I don't know how the fuck this is PG-13. Did you know that this is PG-13?
I had no idea it was PG-13. I mean, maybe when it first came out, I was like, when I realized it was PG-13, I was like, okay, but it should not have been PG-13 at all. Even rewatching it, it's like, this is definitely not.
Because I think you mentioned that the best movies are the ones that are PG-13. Some of the ones, the hidden gems in horror.
Especially like really like disturbing horror movies, surprisingly, are PG-13. I feel like, and it's like, it's a little equation, I realize sometimes. And it's not always right. If it's within the 90-minute mark and it's PG-13, it's going to be scary as hell. I don't know why. It's just going to be very... There was a time that it was just like back to back. I was like, oh my gosh, this is PG-13. It should have been rated R.
Yeah.
But I realized what makes it rated R, it's not how scary it is. It's if there's like nudity, violence, or like sexual acts that you'll get in more mature. I feel like when it's not teenagers, they can't really do that with teenagers as much. So
I don't know. I feel like whoever's rating this, with all due respect, someone's telling them when to look away. It's like, all right, she's walking down the thing. All right, rated PG-13. Look away. All right, she's dancing. This is simple. Look away. And that's how the rating comes out. And they're just as shocked as we are. So on this one, IMDB says, when robotics engineer Gemma becomes the guardian of her orphan niece, Cady, she thinks of a new invention, a robotic AI, with the idea of being a good companion. However, M3GAN begins to behave unexpectedly in shocking ways. That's correct. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't spoil anything. Mayte, what are your highs and lows on this one?
First, you say, what did you say? Cady?
Cady? What? It's Cady? Cady. You know, I'm gonna butcher a name. I'm gonna fuck up a name. If there's anything the Dad Panther's gonna do, he gonna make some pancakes and waffles, and he's gonna fuck up a name. So
that's like the one thing I heard, and I was like, "Who's Cady?"
When I already said it, I was like, and it threw me off because by the time I got the good companion, I was like, I think I fucked something up on here. But whatever. Add it to the blooper ride. Real.
So my highs and lows. So for a scary movie, you got the little, you got the blood and guts. It's definitely there. So I don't know if they have. Sorry, my dogs are like play fighting right now.
No, we love animals. Check in with Manny. We'll see how he feels. But we love animals and kids here.
It was surprisingly very funny. Like, she was very sassy. Like, this is a kid robot or a kid, she shouldn't be saying all this stuff towards the end. I mean, watching it the second time, it was just as enjoyable watching it the first time, in my opinion. I didn't really like, how sometimes you'll watch movies and you're like, why am I watching this again? Like, I already seen this is boring. It was definitely just as exciting as watching it the first time.
Okay.
My lows. I can't really think of a low. I feel like, honestly, I can't really think of a low at this point. Not, I feel like it's not like super scary where you're like closing your eyes every 5 minutes. It's definitely a good take on like that AI type of, robot type of horror. So I don't really have any lows that I can think of at the moment.
Okay, so for me, before I get into my highs and lows, this movie had a $12 million budget and it grossed almost $200 million. So they made their money. And a lot of these horror movies come in and they just make their money. And it's that genre that's moving. Check out our weekly review on movies if you're curious how they're going from week to week. But my low for this was maybe you could have shortened it maybe 10 or 15 minutes. There are some dialogue and some moments where, like you said, Mayte, if you keep it just going, it's back to back, whether it's the jokes or the kills. And it just keeps it interesting, especially for a younger audience, 13, apparently. You can watch Bluey and this. That's wild. But it's like, if you would have shortened it, I think you get the attention span. Now, check out Lilo and Stitch, where it doesn't matter if you made that movie short. A lot of kids just didn't stay long enough to actually watch it. Now, that's the only low that I have. The highs for this was it took the idea of movies like Chucky or Drop Dead Fred or something that plays on kids, and it kept it fresh and kept it fun with AI doing stuff on its own sometimes, and everybody kind of has it as a household name. It felt like a believable story. The actor, who's actually 13, who played and wore a mask, and she was out there dancing and doing her thing, that added to the realization of this shit could be real. Like, the universe you placed us in, this could be real. And the music, her witty humor, it was similar to like Freddy Krueger or Chucky, respectfully. Like, she has some slick to say. Like, I'm not going to spoil anything, but like, there's a boy in the woods and she's basically like
oh yeah,
like bear.
that was her trigger. Her
Yeah.
trigger point for sure.
Yeah. And she was like, hey, listen, are you listening to me? Are you listening? I was like, damn, I'm listening. So other than that, I just thought that the kills were humorous. I'm not gonna spoil. I don't want to spoil anything, but I just thought it was a smooth situational pace that they had in here. So that's my highs and lows. As far as like what you guys think as we get ready to go into rating soon, like right now you have the Dad Panther on Letterboxd. You can go ahead and put your rating. So a lot of times we'll say, hey, check your rating out. So maybe we'll all have one. But if you have Letterboxd, put your username inside the chat. And let's go ahead and see what you kind of rated this. So with that being said, let's go into ratings. Here we rate stuff from a 0 to a 5, 5 being excellent, 0 being horrible. And yeah.
That scared me so bad. I'm like, it went silent for a while. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then I see a doll. I'm like, I didn't realize I was muted, so you didn't get my initial reaction. But
I was sitting there, like, you know what? My daughter's dolls are all over the house. And after a movie like this or Chucky, it makes me respect the dolls. Like, real talk, respect the dolls.
Sure,
so every time
respecting the dolls.
Listen, because I'm the type of person, like, if there's a doll sitting somewhere, I'm not going to throw a towel over it. I'm not going to like smack it. I literally respect the hell out of it. So
like
Moana was here on an episode when we did, I literally was like, hey, Moana, I'm going to put you back in the closet. All right. I'm going to put you here. If you happen to come alive, I was good. Just like when I talk to AI, I always say, please and thank you. Just in case they take over and shit, they're going to be like, hey, the people in this IP address, they're good in my book. We'll let them slide.
They scan your IP.
At this point, they just might. Now, for before we get into the ratings, hit the subscribe button, like, follow, comment, all that other stuff. Go check out the Karate Kid. We just did that. Go check that review and see how you like. And do you like the Karate Kid, the new or the old one? Mayte, what is your rating? 0 to 5, M3GAN.
I think I'm gonna give it a 4.
I'm right there with you. I'm not even gonna wait. It's a 4.
Yeah.
Like, it's trendy. They already got the second one that's getting ready to come out. And we're not going to spoil anything if you haven't seen the trailer. But yeah, I agree. This is a 4. There's stuff that's memorable. There are people that still dress up like M3GAN for Comic-Cons, for Halloween. You'll see that in Centers this year. The dancing
I think they
on
also
TikTok.
do like they had a horror in Halloween Horror Nights. They had like a haunted house for her too.
Yes, they did. And they got somebody that was out there doing it. They had a bunch of M3GAN parading. So this is something this is cool. So you want to have something that's memorable. You $12 million and you do almost $200 million. You talk about this in Centers and stuff. So you can't be mad at it. Yeah. that's it. That's it. We got creepy dolls, and we talked about creepy dolls here. So you could have been anywhere in the world, and you chose to be here. I greatly appreciate that. Until next time, Kalika-lika-lao.